When building REST APIs, there's a concept of uniform interfaces. An API user should be able to navigate through your API using the responses that come back from it. We can do this in our index endpoint. So let's go to that method. Here we go. We have our index method in our PostController. You can see we have the all method here. I'm going to change that to paginate. Now I'm going to say I want 3 records per page. And I'm only going to define the title and the content attributes to be part of this. And I'm going to make sure it comes back as an array rather than a collection. And now finally, I'm just going to dump out the post variable. You might be asking, why are we changing code without writing a test first? To be honest with you, I don't know the exact structure of what will come back from this method. In order to find out what the possibilities are, I'm happy to explore the method a bit further before deciding on whether or not I want to go down this route. So let's go back to our IndexCest. And in this test, let's just change this I have multiple value to have 13 records rather than 2. And let's run the test again. So what we expect to see here is not the test passing or failing, but rather to see the value of what comes back from that method. So you can see we have a new structure here. You can see we have data, which is a similar node to what we had, which has our data in it. And at the bottom here, you can see we have first page URL, last page URL, and stuff like this. Now this is quite useful to us. We can use these URLs to move up and down the pages of our pagination. So this is what we actually want to achieve. Now using the magic of video editing, I'm just going to fast forward a bit. Okay, so you can see now I have the entire array structure that we got back in the response. I've now put it into the test. You can see I've added new constants to represent the API response fields. I've just added this to the post model. You can see in the bottom here, I've used the env helper to grab the base URL for our application and just put it in there so it matches up with this and our first page URL. And you can see the rest of these nodes here. I've just put them as constants and put them into the structure. Next, I'm going to remove these 2 lines because we don't need it. And I'm going to show you a new assertion that we could use. And that's called IC response contains JSON. So what this does is it does the converting for us. It'll convert the array to JSON and grab the response as well. So cool. So we're looking in a lot better place. So let's remove this DD. And now remember that we're bringing it back as an array. So we just need to change this check to say posts data and check if that's empty. And that will throw our response if it is. And we don't need that anymore. We just need to say response posts. So that's a lot cleaner. And finally, let's run our test. And this should pass. Okay, so it doesn't pass. So let's click to see the difference. Okay, so it's just because I have an extra // And that's why I really love PHP Storm for running tests. Even though you may find it a bit slower, it's just so much quicker in my view to find out when you have made an error, just to identify it extremely quickly. You can run the test again. I also find it a lot quicker than typing out an individual test in the command line. Good, it passes. So that's good work.